real weak close to the market yesterday. We had rallied back up to 268 a couple of days ago. Came down pretty hard. The gap down on Tuesday was bought around 262.5. Had a nice rally back up. Yesterday post-Fed, we caught a little bit of a bid. Failed at the pre-market high and then sold off hard. Thanks for Aaron asking at the end of yesterday's meeting about possible patterns after the Fed. That is pretty close to what happened. Coming in this morning, we're down. I just nibbled a little bit of the SPYs here below 262. This is just, we had a big bounce from here last week in the 262 to 261.30 area. So the most logical thing to me is catch a bid here. Even if we don't have a huge bounce, catch a bid here, maybe move back up to like 263.30, the area we broke out from Tuesday, end of the day on Tuesday. And then we'll kind of see. If we go up to here and we spend a lot of time just kind of moving sideways, and we break the upside, you can play it. We move back up to here. So we're getting tight. IWM, I don't think was down yesterday. Yeah, so it closed above the prior day's close. It's kind of interesting. So it's coming down here, but now it's starting to look like it's creating a pretty wide consolidation here. I'm sorry, it's not that wide. It's like a 1.5% consolidation, coinciding with this support. So 153.5 is the level to be keeping an eye on. It's about 40 cents below where we are right now. But you can see it failed here a couple times, then it held before the big up move, came back down. The following morning, I guess it opened below there, or maybe that was the pre-market, ripped right above. It did break down. It came down there on this day, then gapped below a couple of days ago, ripped right back above. So 53.5 to like 53.25. I'd be looking to see if there's a bid there. The market starts getting sold off pretty hard. All right, so a bunch to go over. There was almost an unlimited number of names we could have talked about. So hopefully a couple of these will be good for you. Certainly, we found out of the myriad of things that are moving this morning, ones that you think are better for you personally, that's fine. For the less experienced traders, hopefully you'll stick with some of the easier ones that I'm going to talk about. So SQ. So SQ has not been the easiest stock. Bought it a bunch of times in some of these pullbacks. Every time it goes up $4, $5, $6, I sell it. I haven't been in it in a while. I was in it for this, and then I sold into this or something, so I missed this last part. And I sold it at 50. The numbers were fine, by the way. So actually, let's go to the daily. So when the numbers are fine, so my expectation is that it'll maintain its uptrend. It's being offered at 46.75 right now, which is right here. So we have this area right here to work with, this recent support. We had a decent bounce here, and another here. Now it's a couple of lower highs. But still, the longer-term uptrend is still intact.
It basically gives you a lot more depth.
I just want you to see this one right here just to remind you how wild this can get. So it was up at 49. It came down in like a couple of days to $40. had a big bounce back up to 43 and then even went lower. So as much as I think my initial bias is coming in looking for a bounce from this area here, I just want to be mindful of that past. Again, you can see it very clearly on the even on the 30-minute. These are very big down moves before it catches bids and bounces. So if this were to follow through to the downside, it could overshoot. But then we'd expect some sort of movement back into here. I guess actually we've already seen some more downside in the after hours. So 45 to 45.20 is where it bottomed in the after hours. The high here is 2.5 off. So let's start with this, resistance zone, support zone. This is kind of our area we want to work with to start the morning. And then we'll go from there. Shorting failures above 47. For moves to 45.5 down to 45, good. So we're going to check below 45. So the low going back a couple weeks ago was 43.80. So if it overshoots and takes out the after hours low, and you get the flush into the 44, that's going to be a very quick snapback buy, especially if it happens in the first 10 minutes. You could easily catch a move from here right back up to $46. So again, coming in, I prefer to trade it on the long side. But if it does fail above 47, I will give that a shot. Any type of move on the open up to the 48 area, then I'll start to think bids are going to step higher and maybe work its way back up to filling the gap, which takes us back between 49 and 50. Our firm is net shorted right now. CERN, CERN. Right. So the reason I like this one and put it second is because, first of all, it's the last few years, and it's just in this huge, kind of wild consolidation between 75, 74, 75, and what is this? 50, of course. And so it had this really big uptrend. It reminds me actually of the home builders from a few years ago. You can check those out, like KBH and Toll. They had these big, huge uptrends for a couple of years, and then they just got ahead of themselves and spent years digesting. I think they all made new highs in the last year. But in this case, what caught my attention is they guided down, but a few analysts said it was a buy because the guide down for next quarter was a one-time VA delay in suspending some money. And it is, where's the offer? 55 right now, so it's being offered right here. And I can see it's already bounced from this area. So it already was inside of kind of the support zone from the last couple of years. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, so we don't have enough volume really to draw any conclusions. In fact, there's no volume. Nice. We did a few thousand shares here down at 52. I'm going to use that 52, see if it catches a bid somewhere in here. And then what I'd like to see, it reminds me a little bit of we traded a couple of days ago, STX, where it just on the open, it did one of these jobs where it just went straight down. Then it did this, and then kind of did this the rest of the day, something like that. So that's kind of my thought on this one. I'm going to move on to the next thing. Teva. So Teva, I've been holding a few shares of this for a while. It's been showing signs of life the last few days. I didn't make a trade in it. I think when I saw the strength here on this day, I bought some above 18 maybe. It came right back down to 18. But you can see they bought it ahead of earnings. The numbers were good. It was above 20 this morning. Take a look at the daily. This is like a beaten down sector from the last couple of years. But you can see it bottomed here below $12. They ran it all the way back up. This, I think, gap was the fact that Buffett has a position. They gapped it back up to 21.5 or 21. So really, I mean, ultimately, over the next couple of quarters, it's kind of like you go back to Twitter a couple of years ago, where stock starts to bottom, and then it has to have a few good quarters and kind of works its way to a gap area. This is like kind of the longer term. This is the beginning of moving into the 20s. So this is good. So we got a nice pullback now. I'm pretty conservative where I put my, I put the pullback area here, but definitely could pull back, have a shallower pullback. But this is the conservative area to look for the pullback on the open. Topped out here at 2015. And I sat down. It was still right up there around 20. Sellers in control right now. The first thing we want to see is wherever bottoms kind of break out of this little mini downtrend, and see if it can kind of hold wherever it bottoms out, and then kind of get that move. If it starts to consolidate above 20 today, definitely play it on the long side for a move above the pre-market high. They're on the conference call right now, which I suppose isn't going great. Then Tesla. So Tesla said some really good stuff right on the earnings report, and then during the conference call, it got killed because apparently, I didn't listen to it, but apparently Musk lost his patience with some of the analyst questions and just said some stuff that got spooked a lot of people, and the stock dropped like $20 pretty quickly. More downside follow through today, which brings us back right bounce from a few days ago into play. So it's like 277. I think we bought it here on this day, right, at 277.5 or something like that. So basically, if it catches like a bid in this area here, and again, you're risking $1 to $2 when you trade this, you're really looking for a move back up to this. And you don't know, like they could shake it off and it could go all the way back up to 295. But that's the idea. Is like 285 is kind of the important level. You can see in the after hours it went down there. It bounced 290 this morning, and then it took it out right now, and now it's coming into this support here. It looks like it caught a bid there already. So I think this is exactly where I bought it like a week or two ago, between 277 and 278. And I don't think I played it for that big of a, I think I sold into like here to here. Yeah, so buyers are definitely stepping in there. It's pretty good volume, a few 100,000 shares. So if you're looking for a bounce, you want to buy 278 against 276.5. That's kind of the trade right here. Sell some into 281, 282, and then you can kind of see it's actually playing out right now as I'm talking about it. This is the second attempt. So now you want to actually see the buyer step up a little bit higher. Let's say it fails at 280 here. You want to see if the buyer step up into here. And do one of those. Apple. So Apple had the profit taking. We talked about shorting at 177 in the pre-market, where I shorted in the after hours the day before. That worked on the open. 74 did catch a bid. I was pretty conservative there. I did get long for the reversal, but I was thinking about the drop out from 74 the prior day, where it went to 72. But it held, had a pretty good bounce, went up about $2 from there, made a higher low. Middle of the day, and that actually eventually took out 77 into the Fed. Came off with the Fed, but probably closed up a VWAP, it looks like. So it was really strong. Now, remember McDonald's was very strong on its first day as well. Although, the reason I point that out is McDonald's got hit pretty hard the next day. I had to flip it to short. So, the way I'm looking at it is here, like, on the open, if it can't get above this area right here and hold above it, you want to be careful about the long, because you could definitely can spend some time consolidating in this range for a couple of days. So what that might look like is a quick pop on the open, a failure, starts to hold below 175.5, and you play it for a move back down into this support area here. And Aaron asked about spot. I think spot's going to probably be really hard. I did sell the shares I bought at 160 yesterday, 170. Of course, I'm sure people are looking at the 150 area. It's actually 152 to 151.20 is kind of the spot, really. It's not even one. Did he get the one? Yeah, it's not even 150, really. It's pretty much where it bounced from. Well, it hasn't really bounced, but 151, 150, 120. Just looking at the longer time frame. If you're looking to play a bounce, you can nibble in here. What you want to see is this. You want to see it get above 154, and you want to see it come back, hold here, maybe move sideways a little bit, and start to go up. It could work its way back up to 160. Everybody who bought the other day, like I did at 160, that would probably be selling the shit out of it right here. So those are my thoughts on spot.
Hope you enjoyed that video. You can actually watch that video if you're subscribed to our Trader 90 before the market even opens. What stocks are in play? What levels in those stocks are important, and how we might go about attacking that stock. That's Steve Spencer, 20-year veteran trader, laying it out there every morning before the market even opens. A really, really powerful tool to start your session off on the right foot. So right now we're offering a trial that you can take advantage of to access this meeting and other meetings throughout the day. We have a meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern where you can sit down with Mike Bellafiore and listen to him talk about what's going on during the morning session, what stocks were in play, what the best trade opportunities were, as well as maybe some things that we're looking at heading into the afternoon session. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that trial.